Often a question that is asked, I suppose, being a priest or is discussed with me, is the fact that we have to make a vow of celibacy. That we have to be chaste, that we can't get married, we can't have families in that way. And what really the point of that is nowadays, I suppose, in the modern culture, and even the argument that it would be good for a priest to have the experience of family life, of knowing what it is to be in a family. Well, first of all, for the last one, I would say, and I've often argued that as a priest we learn much more about family life and relationships than anybody else, because if you're in a relationship and you're married, you know the relationships with your spouse and your children, where through our ministries we come in contact with so many relationships of people who come to us that we do actually know quite well what it is to be in relationships. But the more important aspect of chastity, and that counts for priests, but it also counts for religious, for brothers and sisters, is that it is a complete self-giving of ourselves. It is a complete self-giving and a detachment of everything to a certain extent, and especially for religious who make the vows of obedience, of poverty and of chastity. That we give everything to Jesus, we give everything to the church. And while that might not make much sense in the society of nowadays, once we start to pray and discern and get an understanding and experience to a certain extent of the closeness of God, we realize that by completely detaching ourselves from possessions, of things we own ourselves, but also to a certain extent of persons and of relationships, that this opens up and frees our heart completely to be in service of God and for the people we encounter. That it opens up in a spiritual way ourselves to be able to completely focus on God. And it's not for nothing that it is said that, and especially I suppose when we look at religious sisters, when they make the vows, they get a ring to show that they are the spouse of Christ and have given themselves completely to Christ, as a husband would give himself to his wife and the wife to the husband. That analogy doesn't maybe work as easy on priests and on male religious, but it is a complete self-giving to the church of ourselves, freeing up ourselves completely in a spiritual way to be present to God and to those we encounter. And the more, I suppose, the longer I am a religious myself and a priest, the more I discover that there is a truth in this, that it really works, that the more we give of ourselves, the more we receive from God, and the more that we can give to others. So it is not just about the practicalities, it's not just about, there would be many more priests. No, it's about the whole nature of what it is, in my case, to be a priest and to be able to give everything I have to the church, to God, and to those who I encounter.